afternoon. My name is Tab Manning. I am founder and CEO of Women Empowered Win LLC. I am an author, a empowerment speaker, and life coach. I am a podcaster, and I am also a radio personality. Kalia has invited me to come and speak today. Just a few words on my thoughts on what's happening as far as the Rally for Justice and the racial injustices that's happening in this country. African Americans that's dying at the hands of law enforcement at an alarming rate. I really struggled with what I needed to say today because, of course, my heart, my mind, and my spirit has just been all over the place. I thought about a piece that I had written quite some time ago when we were at this moment before with Alton Sterling. And I wanted to recite that piece, and then when I'm done with that, I guess I'll just add a few words behind it. So this was written it was written about Alton Sterling when he was killed by law enforcement for selling CDs outside of a convenience store. The title of the piece is called 5 Children Fatherless. 5 more children will grow up fatherless in Baton Rouge. Another mother grieves as she buries her son. Another life stolen by a badge and a gun. A sister will no longer be able to talk to her brother. I'm sure he will be mourned by many others. He was down on the ground with a gun to the back of his neck, and the officers placed on leave were still collecting their checks. Cause of death, 7 shots to the chest and back. Someone please explain, where's the protect and serve in that? Man with the red t-shirt selling CDs. Now his face is on a t-shirt saying rest in peace. His name added to the list of blacks killed by police, lives taken, no hesitation, bloodshed on the street. The media will try to portray him as a thug or a hood, paint the picture of a man that was up to no good. They will try to justify shooting this man 7 times in the back and chest. Headlines reading, sparked outrage and protests. We will post, tweet, and hashtag his name, but it won't change the fact this man was slain. Every day I pray for my husband, my son, my brother, and every black man. I ask God to help me understand why our lives don't matter. We're being taken out for sport, seen as less than human. The black community is like a Hunger Game resort. I know God hears my prayers. I know he hears our cries. Soon he will answer, and this nation will be tried. This nation will have to answer for the injustices of the crimes. And I pray for grace and mercy during that appointed time. 5 children in Baton Rouge no longer have their dad. Another mother buries her son. And we post and tweet and hashtag his name. But the Sterling family, the Floyd family, the Taylor family, the Arbery family will never ever be the same. Thank you. I just want to say that I believe that we're at a crossroads right now. I believe that we're at a time where we're not going to just peacefully protest anymore. We're not going to just march and chant and hold hands and ask them to stop killing us. We're beyond that now. We know that peaceful protests are not always effective, but I believe that right now our voices are heard. I believe that right now they understand that we're not going to take this anymore. I pulled up a couple of quotes regarding protests. This quote by John F. Kennedy says, "Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable." We've prayed, we've marched, we've asked them nicely to stop killing us, and they didn't listen. Colin Kaepernick took a knee and he lost his job. So now here we are. Cities are burning. People are dying. And we're at a point where we have the world's attention. So what do we do now? What happens after the protests? What are our demands? And how do we move forward? More importantly, how does America move forward? How does law enforcement change the way they police minorities? How does the judicial system change how they try us in a court that's supposed to be liberty and justice for all? But really it's liberty and justice for all except for brown and black people. How do we move forward in this country is the question. Because we cannot continue the way we are. My thoughts are that racism is a cancer, and it's one that has to be pulled up and killed from the root. When you have cancer, doctors, they go through different methods in order to kill the cancer. Sometimes they have to cut it out. Sometimes they have to do radiation. Sometimes you have to take medication on top of the radiation and the chemo and the cutting, the surgery. And so that's how we have to approach racism at this point. And it's going to take this entire country. White people have to acknowledge that racism does exist. That's the first step, is acknowledging it and having these conversations and figuring out that it's systemic and figuring out how these laws and these things that's on the books need to be reformed so that we are not the targets of their system, because the system wasn't designed nor was it built for us. Additionally, we need to look at police reform. We need to look at how they police minority communities. They wear body cams, it's being recorded, and yet they still are killing us. I believe it's because of the fact of how the justice system and how the law enforcement has been trained and how it has been created to police black people. There's not much of a difference from slave catchers. They're essentially modern day slave catchers. And so the way they arrest us, the way they take us in is always violent. It's always lethal. And it's because that's how slave catchers caught slaves when they were, escaping the plantation. And so these are the types of questions and discussions that need to be had. Yes, criminals need to be tried and convicted and arrested, but there's no reason why a counterfeit $20 bill, or selling CDs, or selling loose cigarettes, or getting stopped at a traffic for a tail light being out should end up in murder. So these are my thoughts. America, there has to be a change. The people that built this country, the people that have contributed to inventions that we are using right now, every essence of this country has been seasoned with African Americans, our culture, our music, our style, our inventions. Everything about us is embedded and engraved in this country. You love the culture, yet you hate us. So we're at a crossroads now. How does America respond? Thank you for your time.